Okay, hello chat. This is gonna be a vintage challenge. This is the first vintage challenge with Lurrus unbanned. It's been a long week actually of Lurrus being unbanned, and my conclusion is I think the card is kind of bad. I think as a companion, it's basically unplayable in every shell except for Breach, where it's just kind of an afterthought and it's not really a focal point. And then in the main deck, it kind of slots you into this fair game plan that I think is kind of bad. I think there might be an Esper, Bant, or Bug versions of Lurrus in the main where it's fine, but I think overall, I've lost like a million play points trying to get different Lurrus decks to work. I've tried a whole spectrum of different Lurrus decks, and I just don't think it's very good. Anyways, this is what we're gonna play today. It's like I kind of hinted at in the stream. This might be the last time I stream Lurrus for a while, just because I think it's kind of a mistake to play right now. Unless, I mean, there could totally be a deck that I'm missing that someone's going to come out with and it's going to be really strong. But I haven't seen one. So this is just the one I have the most fun with. I streamed this on Wednesday, Vintage Society, Mythic Society Vintage Weekly event. It's kind of a play on the modern Urza style decks. So Urza, Emery, Lurrus, rebuying a bunch of artifacts and surrounded by a blue Force of Will package. This deck is pretty good against some bizarre. It can do okay against some of the fair decks, but it suffers really heavily from dying to Pyroblast. Also suffers from dying to Null Rod and Collector Roof and all the things that normal decks that I create suffer from. So, I mean, I like the gameplay that Lurrus presents, but it's really slow and it's not really as powerful as it used to be. So that's my take anyways. And like I said, I'm totally down to be wrong. As of right now, I just haven't seen a deck where I was super impressed by what Lurrus was doing. So we got round one. Ooh, no problem. We actually got round one here versus Eternal Weekend Champion Burrow Run Bug player. Hopefully we don't get Collector Roofed too badly today. Let's do it. This hand is... Okay, this is a very good Lurrus hand. And you do get these from time to time. We have turn 1 Lurrus with Replay Bobble. The thing we don't have is Permission. These are the kind of hands that I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm going to keep this hand. I'm super happy about. I got my Lurrus engine going. I'm feeling good, and then my opponent just goes turn 1 Doomsday and kills me. However, I don't think Burrow Run is a Doomsday player, so maybe we have a chance to play a fair game here. This is a good hand. The on-color Moxen was the kicker here. I'm not going to show them Bobble. I'd rather just play Lurrus without giving them information that I have a regrow effect. Or something to regrow with Lurrus. So I can see an additional card. Okay, so it does look like it'll probably be Bug. I can see another card from my opponent if I wait until next turn to pop this Bobble. However, I would really like to draw Force of Will. So I'm just going to pop both of these Bobbles now. I should have played the Lantern after I had put the Bobble on into play, but I was too busy talking about it. So now I can't play this Lantern without exiling my Bobble, so I have to hold the Lantern. You're totally right, chat. I was just like trying to talk through the reason I was doing small things, and I just forgot. So it's okay though, because we can use the Lantern later for more value. And I did, and so this is exactly like the reason I played the Bobble and cracked the Bobble twice on my turn is exactly what happened. I was able to draw into Force of Will. So yeah, I got a little bit of an upgrade here. Wasteland Black Lotus. Okay. Ancestral Hull Breacher. Yeah, I mean, if I assume this Wasteland's hitting my one color source anyways, this Urza's pretty uncastable, I'm willing to force this Hull Breacher. I can play around Hull Breacher fairly easily by just, you know, bobbling, and it draws a card on their turn, so. Oh, wow, it's an early raid. Are we not playing Vintage today, Achilles? I appreciate it. Welcome, everyone, from Achilles Stream. I hope you had a good stream in whatever you did today. Oh, this is not Narset. You're right. Whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. The card is literally... Oh, my God. I accidentally clicked this. Whatever. It's a strong start to this stream. I should just stop looking at chat, maybe I'm not equipped to be a streamer anymore. I am going to lose my white mana here. You're right, though. This does read different than Narset. I don't care. I literally don't read Hull Breacher because the card just doesn't matter. Anyways. But yeah, so I actually have very few plays this turn because I did lose my blue mana. I'm about to lose my white mana. I still have a Soul Guide Lantern to do things with, so that's nice. I didn't actually mean to float this white mana, obviously, but we cannot take it back. This not going to change anything anyways. So opponent had chosen to wasteland me, which kind of works out for them. Oh, they're playing an Archon of Emeria, so maybe they're on Bant. Interesting. I think what I'm gonna do is just take this wasteland out of their yard, and I'm gonna just draw a card with this Soul Guide Lantern. Interesting. So I can vamp into something on their turn. Why would I want to Lantern the Lotus? And I mean, I don't think the opponent's getting any cards back, but it shouldn't really matter. I think the land is typically a card that can get back a little bit easier, but if they're Bant, they can't get anything back. So we have to just see. Like I'm not gonna vamp right now, and the reason I don't want to vamp right now is because I need to know if my Lurrus lives. If my Lurrus lives, that means I'm going to have the mana that I need to do things, right? But if my Lurrus does not live, then I have a problem. Because I can always rebuy this pedal. But now that my Lurrus is going to live, there's like basically no shot that we're not just going for a Tinker. It's going to probably end the game. And the cool thing here actually is I probably will regrow the pedal instead of using my land drop, which is pretty sweet. Force of Will. I think I'm gonna leave that on top. It's very likely opponent plays an Archon next turn. We just counter it. And it's nice that our Lurrus is gonna gain us some life back, which is cool too. Like they obviously didn't have a force now. We know their hand contains Tropical Island Archon. Pretty unlikely they'll draw a counterspell to protect it. I think this is fine. I'm going to just pass and force the Archon. I think it's more likely if I fetch, I fail to find something useful, and then I get locked underneath this Archon, which I really do not want. All right, so... Our opponent's very dead here because Tinker is a broken magic card, but Lurrus had a very good game. This is definitely the kind of deck where Lurrus can be very strong against it. They're playing a very fair, grindy game plan. I should hold priority, but I didn't. Archon, Tarmogoyf. All right, this should be infinite turns if I just get the mana crypt out of my yard or something. Where's my key? There's a key. I guess I can just get pedal. That works. Okay. All right. So I played that game fairly poorly, but it was just some kind of like misclicks and looking at chat and just not really focused. Opponent kept a pretty reasonable hand. However, they went turn 1 Lotus Hull Breacher, and I think that's not right. I think I would rather them go turn 1 Lotus Archon. And like I had the force because I drew twice with the bobble, I actually probably lose this game if I don't draw the baubles the way I did, and opponent had gone Lotus Archon, I think. Lotus Archon is probably one of the most powerful plays in Vintage you can do right now. So, all right. So opponent is on Bant, Archon, Wasteland. So we want to bring in an island. Deadweight kills Noble Hierarch, Collector Roof, Lavinia. Balance, Engineered Explosives. They had 3 Archons. So unless they drew Archon every turn of the game, which we know they didn't because we know they drew 1 Tropical Island, they had an Archon in their hand. So we don't really need the lanterns. We have to be careful like how many lanterns and baubles you take out because you lose a lot of your engine that way. But you don't really need these lanterns per se. Slow tutors I don't like. Well, I think actually slow tutors are okay in this matchup. I usually like to trim like 1 Emery, 1 Urza, especially in a deck that's probably not interacting with my creatures on the board. Yeah, but they played 3 Archons. I mean, they played an Archon and had 2 more Archons. Yeah, I have a sideboard Karn because I wanted a Null Rod. I wanted the Karn for its Null Rod effect, but don't think that it, I don't think it has a wide enough, I don't think it's good enough against a variety of decks to main board right now. So I think that the decks it is good against, it is very good against, and so I wanted to have one, but I didn't want to main deck it. And I don't know if that's correct. That's just something that I've been thinking about and I'm trying it out. I really just want Karn versus like combo shops, PO, which is, I don't know, 15% of the metagame or something. This hand looks pretty bad. Yeah, I do want to have a Force of Will in my opening hand for an Archon, but I don't have a blue card. I have a Citadel. This one looks a little bit better. At least I have some land drops, some fast mana. Okay, Tundra, Emerald, go. I'm gonna play a fetch land, just play around days. Take a look at what my opponent's doing. All right, so opponent has Archon and Force of Will backup and Sword. So this game could get challenging very quickly here. That's a good card if it's gonna probably get Sword. Sworded. Sorry, not sorted. Forced. God, I probably should have misstepped this, but I F6'd. I didn't actually expect them to brainstorm here, but I guess it makes sense. It's kind of nice to have this misstep for the Swords to Plowshares, but yeah, I don't know. This brainstorm's like really bad. Doesn't really do much for them. It lets them go like 1 card deeper, right, to find something. But if they miss on a land drop here, they're pretty much just dead in the water, right? I guess you would still be dead in the water if you did not brainstorm, but you also would have the ability to maybe force twice. It's an aggressive brainstorm, right? I could be wrong. I don't know if I would brainstorm here. Like, you put 2 back, you draw one of the cards you put back, so really you put 1 card back. I mean, they hit a fetch land, so it all works out for them. Why is this stuck here? Stop. Stop it. Fucking unreal. Okay. Yep. It's their 1 energy flux in the sideboard. They're gonna lose their Emerald. It's not really a big deal for us. I don't really think the card is like super good against us or anything, but I'm gonna just save the Jet for now. And we'll just lose the Ruby. Like, I think this might even hamper them more than it hampers us, but whatever you want to do, opponent. I guess if they hit another land, it kind of works out for them. But if they didn't hit another land, like, they can't even play the Archon this turn because they... They drew Ancestral. Okay, all right. I'm gonna force this. Sorry, I'm gonna misstep this. It's probably gonna get forced back. We're playing some Lurrus and some Urza today. Thanks for the 7 months. Appreciate that. Okay, so force. Oh, they probably got rid of the swords, I would assume. So they have Archon plus 3 new ones now. All right, well now, like, I guess it worked out because they top decked Ancestral, but I really think this energy flux was worse than playing Archon. I just haven't been really happy with my the lines my opponent has taken, even though I don't have complete information. But I am thinking about balancing now as a way to just take all the cards in their hand. Yeah, it's something I'm considering. I'm going to lose all my artifacts, but it's probably better than letting a spell resolve, because I still would have to balance afterwards anyways, so... Twist you. Next turn, I can use the Crypt to pay for the Soul Ring and just drop the Crypt. And I still have a Soul Ring for the next turn, so... All right, we got Archon, Oko, Daze, and Wasteland out of their hand. So we're on a top deck battle. Which deck top decks better? I would say mine does. I would think that my deck top decks slightly better, but now that I don't have any bobble draws, maybe it's worse. No. Yes. Tails. Like, if I draw an Urza here, it's pretty good, right? I mean, why would I do that, though? Why would I draw an Urza here? That would be asking for too much. So they don't have any top deck Ancestral left in their deck, which is nice. It's not bad, though. They're starting to clock. I definitely want my Soul Ring to pay for my Soul Ring, so that my top deck Tinker is live. Okay. So they've drawn 2 creatures, and we've drawn 2 mana. Pretty fast clock. 3 more attacks. They drew another creature. Wonderful. I think I'm not willing to pay 3 for this, because I can't play an Urza if I draw it. I drew a Mire's Grasp. Okay, so I guess we will just kill the Lavinia. I guess maybe we'll kill the Kataki. I don't... what do I have in my deck? This Lavinia doesn't actually stop anything. So I guess we'll just kill the Kataki. So if I draw a Lurrus, I should be in good shape. Lavinia, because bobbles, I guess, is fair. I don't know. My Tinker's going to be pretty useless at this point anyways. I'm going to be at, like, very little life. I guess maybe Lavinia for bobbles is reasonable. I mean, I've drawn, you know, nothing. I have a bunch of creatures in my deck that are all very, very good. But I think it's just going to be too much. Just not top deck anything. Yeah, I guess Mire's Grasping Lavinia makes more sense. Just because of bobble. I mean, it doesn't like fucking matter because I just literally can't draw a single relevant spell. But I mean, my deck does not top deck well, but it top deck better than my opponent's deck, so it's a little unfortunate. And then I drew the bobble. Hilarious. Okay. Wonderful. Yeah, like if I draw this Lurrus first, probably win the game. But I did not. Maybe I just actually want all my Urzas. Just take out this probe. Probably fine. Yeah. Like I said, that energy flux didn't really do anything besides put them off of Archon for an additional turn. But energy flux can be pretty good against me. I do have like artifacts that I want to keep in play, like constructs and stuff. So maybe it's fine. I've just always found Energy Flux to not be very good against decks that are not Mistress Workshop decks, where they like can't really pay or anything. Yeah. I feel like that game was super winnable. We had 3 Lurrus, 3 Urza, Ancestral Recall to draw. I guess our like Demonic Tutor. I guess our deck doesn't have a ton of draw in it, so it's probably just kind of a crapshoot on who draws things first. And we drew mana and they drew creature. So, though I guess our Urza wasn't like super good anyways because it made a 1/1 construct that I had to pay for. But I think Lurrus was the best thing we could have drawn, though. The things that we were going to loop back at the moment, I mean, we were going to loop back Mire's Grasp after we drew it, but before Mire's Grasp, we didn't have much to loop back. But after we loop back Mire's Grasp, we just kill every card in their deck with Mire's Grasp and then attack for them for lethal with the Lurrus, so. Yeah, we do lose some amount of top deck draw by cutting Lantern from our deck and only having Baubles. Not really sure. I think it's just better to have the Baubles than have the Lanterns. Okay, yeah, that's a hand. That is certainly a hand. How do I... So I think what I'm supposed to do is Demonic for Force of Will and then Tinker with using my land drop. Right? Kind of feels like that's what the play we should be making here. Sequence like this in case they play Vigor. She's gonna get Force. They have to have double counter. Definitely gonna tinker away this Opal, as it's unlikely that I'll have artifacts after. Force pitching Narset, force pitching that, put a Citadel in play, and Brick. Okay. It's a good start. Let's see if they have a way to deal with my Citadel. Lotus Oka would deal with my Citadel. Lost 3 life. Land. Time Walk. Urza. This. Three's a lot of life here. I think I'm gonna crack away this. I have to be very careful of my life total. Okay, that one's pretty good though. That one I'm willing to do. Opal, Petal. Tinker this. Time Vault. Demonic Key, infinite turns. GG. Okay, Tinker confirmed broken Magic the Gathering card. Definitely the deck is busted. It definitely wasn't Tinker. This is a problem I have very recently, chat. This is a huge problem. Tinker makes me think that bad decks are good because I'll win a bunch of matches. I'll just win a ton of matches with decks that look like this. And I'll be like, yeah, this deck's totally playable, guys. And then I come to the realization that it's actually just Tinker wins 60% of the games that I play, and the rest of the deck doesn't fucking matter. I just like, it's just Like, so many games are just demonic or vampiric or mystical for Tinker Citadel. Oh, Citadel is a huge problem. Citadel is absolutely should not be in the format, but has the new meta felt to you? The meta hasn't changed. That's the trick, chat. Lurrus has not influenced the meta in any way. Like, I just don't think Lurrus is good. That's the biggest thing. I just don't think it's that good. Okay, here we are. Round 2. Vintage challenge. We got Lurrus. We got Urza. We got Simsy across the table. This hand is beautiful. Go for a vault key. Keep. So, what is the actual best way to sequence this is the next question. It should be... Because we only have 3 mana, we have to play the key on this turn. So I guess the best thing we can do is... See, I can't play around Mindbreak Trap, but I do want to play around Mental Misstep, so I kind of think I'm supposed to play the key first and hope they don't Mental Misstep it. Though it does make my Demonic a higher priority counterspell. This isn't technically a winning... I mean, it's technically winning, but it's not always going to work because I do have a Crypt in play, but it should be fine. DT for Lotus Urza. No, I think that is worse than DTing for the going for the win. I'm gonna just DT for Time Walk, for Time Vault, and I have at least 1 Force of Will backup. I could have up to 2 Force of Will backups if I draw next turn. I mean, this is greedy, but definitely what I'm looking to do here. So a downside of this is if they have a Wasteland, but I mean, I feel pretty good about this line. Thoughtseize? Shit. Okay, this line's pretty bad against Thoughtseize. Maybe I'm supposed to keep the Urza in case they have Force backup. Damn. All right, maybe we're gonna lose this game. I didn't think about Thoughtseize Force backup. I guess I should have kept the Urza. I just figured... Yeah, no, that was bad. I should have just kept the Urza. I mean, this is still retrievable with Lurrus or Emery, so it's not the end of the world that it got Thoughtseized. But I'm going to be really sad if I mean, this still does give me hard cast Force, but yeah, I would much rather be playing an Urza this turn than have a Force of Will, so a little bit of a misplay on my part. I was still in the zone about, like, having double Force of Will backup for my Vault Key. So, it was my own fault. I just didn't what is the word? Unfocus? I don't know what the word I'm looking for here is. But we found one of the best possible draws. Untunnel vision, yeah. So a problem with this is I don't have the ability to protect it, so I could technically wait. However, I think waiting kind of sucks. So I'm just gonna jam. Like, I think waiting is pretty bad. They just have another Force of Will. Okay. They only have 2 cards in hand, but I am dying to my own Mana Crypt, so there are problems here. They have a misdirection in their main, so they're just... Oh, this is the misdirection player. Yeah. No, they pitched a misdirection. This is the player that we played against in... that other league. Jace the Mind Sculptor, multiple misdirections, and Thoughtseizes. This is just a weird bug deck. Yeah, we're gonna die. Okay, so I have very few outs now, but I still have outs. Yeah, we have to be very careful because this opponent has multiple misdirections. I've lost every Mana Crypt flip, by the way. I actually think I lost every single Crypt flip there. Okay. I mean, they had Thoughtseize Double Force of Will. It's pretty hard for me to beat that no matter what here, so. I might have had a chance if I didn't lose every crit flip, but yeah. So if I remember correctly, they just have a bunch of weird shit. It's so they have like misdirections and stuff. It's a little weird to bring in negation against a bug deck, but their bug deck is so weird that I think it's fine. I don't really want to play Soul Guide Lanterns here or Vampiric. One of these and one of these. One of these and one of these. And maybe this. I don't know, something like this. Yeah, this might be the last time, Ramses, because I my evaluation of this deck is that it's not very good. So relish in the Urza life while you can, because I'm probably not playing too much more Lurrus in the future. I just kind of generically added a bunch of. All right, so this is like a risky keep, right? This is such a risky keep because we know my opponent plays 2 misdirections in their deck. So I think what I'm going to actually do is just jam this Urza, and then I should have. This is fine. Then maybe I don't even know if I want to even cast this Ancestral because I know they have a misdirection. They always have a misdirection every time. All right, it doesn't seem like they have a misdirection because that kind of went very fast. I'm going to still play around negation, though. Tap the construct, cast an ancestral, target myself. Do you have a misdirection? Of course you do. Not have a misdirection. You love to see it. Yeah, this is the same opponent from that misdirection league where I got absolutely destroyed. My YouTube commenters absolutely loved that league. They were so happy with that league. It was incredible. All right, so we currently are on double black sources. We could tinker for a Lotus. Probably will resolve as well. Or we could just use our land drop. I think tinker for a Lotus makes the most sense to me. Let's actually see. If I tinker for a Lotus here, then I still have to use my land drop, right? No, I have an Opal. Tinker Lotus, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, let's do that. If this gets forced, it's super good anyways. Black Lotus, cast. I think I'm willing to save my land drop in order to make this Citadel better. Obviously, I lose out on an attack, but yeah, this game is very over. I will fetch that away. Okay, I will not fetch that away. I've learned my lesson. Yeah. Let's just pay for this Remora. Draw the Force. EE. It's just a mana. Might as well play it. Cat? I like a cat. Cat works for me. Land drop? Sure. Petal. Flusterstorm. Can I draw through Fluster? I mean, I could spin if I want to spin. If I can get this up to 9 power, I can look for a Citadel kill. I could also just hold open hard cast Force and have Flusterstorm back up. It's pretty good. This gets me to 8. I think spinning and trying to get to a lethal construct is worthwhile, though. Maybe I shouldn't have used my Lotus yet. Spin. Okay, I missed, but I hit a ruby, a bauble. Another Remora. Sure. How do I feel about an Emery? I just don't care about an Emery. I kind of think I'm going to spin again. Maybe that's just greedy. A Myers Grasp? Okay, now I have lethal. Haha! Black Lotus casts... Wait, this shouldn't cast any mana. Why'd I use my Black Lotus? It wasn't letting me cast it before. Oh, well. It's fine. I have lethal, but I'm fucking around. All right, I actually won on that turn. That's pretty cool. Bolus's Citadel, everybody. Bolus's Citadel. All right, so we get to play game 3. I think we were just lucky there that our Ancestral didn't get misdirectioned. Okay, all right, okay. I mean, I think this is a keep, but doesn't feel great. I'm like pretty suspect about my Remora negation board in, but shit. All right. Cat kind of sucks, I think. Yeah, sure. You've resolved Tarmogoyf. Congratulations. That one I do care about. I mean, if they have Force of Will backup for this, then it's pretty bad, right? Might be the end of the world. Interesting. All right, I think we're just gonna do the baubles check ourselves here. I see a Soul Ring. I do want a Soul Ring. I could choose to keep this bauble for Metalcraft, but I think I would rather have another card. All right, they have a Scalding Tarn. That's not bad for the home team. I get a Soul Ring, and I get another Urza. So now I have Force of Will, which is nice. Tarn down. I take a hit from a Tarmogoyf, but Tarmogoyfs are pretty irrelevant in the scheme of things. No. So we've been over this in round 1, but I want to crack. I lose some value about checking, but I also gain value about having additional cards in my hand. So in game 1, I used both my baubles on my turn and drew a Force of Will, which won me the game. This time, I used both the baubles on my turn and I drew another Urza, so I could force something if I needed to. Yeah. So that's why we did that. Land is pretty good. Mox is very, very good. Not that Mox, though. Literally anything but that Mox. I hate this game so much. I hate this game so much. I have to force this, or I just am not advancing my game state in any meaningful way. This way I can draw any artifact or land. Not any artifact, but a lot of artifacts and lands to play in Urza. I mean, I'm probably just going to get Oko'd and my Soul Ring is going to come an Elk anyways, but I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I think we just did not draw a hand capable of winning the game, and we're going to lose because of it. Like, opponent is just going to play an Oko and turn my Soul Ring into an Elk, like, without a doubt. So maybe I messed up and I should have just held this force. I don't know. It's really bad for me. Oh, okay. That's better for me than anything they could have done, I think. So I mean, I'm just gonna die to this like vanilla terrible creature because my deck is not functioning. I would literally just like my deck to do the functioning. That would be great. Functioning, please. This is like no, Matt. Every time I play Caracas in my fucking deck, it's horrible. Oh my god, if it was anything else. No, this is someone send a picture to Matt and tell him I'm coming for him. No, it's not my fault. It's Matt's fault for putting this in my fucking deck. Now I'm dead. Now I'm fucking dead. This could have been an artifact. This could have been any other land. But now we're fucking dead. We're gonna lose to this stupid fucking bug deck again. All right, I need to draw balance, I guess. This is so sad, dude. It's so sad. It's so sad. I run so cold versus this guy. I don't know how I run so badly versus them. I just didn't have any functioning anything. Thank you for bearing with me. It's now round 3, Vintage Challenge, where versus Kenzaburo, who plays a variety of interesting fair decks with basically any card they want. They kind of just do whatever they want. It's pretty sweet. I think I am going to keep this hand. It's obviously a little dangerous. But what I'm going to do is... I think I'm going to actually play Sapphire, Soul Ring, Jet, and then Jet for Vampiric for Tolarian Academy. Now, the question becomes, do I do this now? I think I'm going to do it in their upkeep. I'm just going to get Tolarian. All right, and let's see what my opponent does. So the cool thing is, if nothing crazy happens, which I don't expect anything crazy to happen because my opponent is usually a Tropical Island gamer, I can go Urza with Flusterstorm back up into another Urza, and that should probably pull away from this game, especially when my opponent's not playing Pyroblast, but I'm not going to jump too far ahead because they could definitely still be a Pyroblast deck. But that's really fine for me. They're either getting Ancestral or Force of Will. I think they might get Force of Will, seeing as they think I might have gotten Tinker. Yeah, they think I might have gotten Tinker, which is not an unreasonable thing for me to Vamp Tutor for, but it's going to work out very much in my favor here. I'm about to out-fair deck them, which is always fun. Yeah, now they're like, wait a second. This isn't Tinker. Why did I get Force of Will? They're still going to force this. I'm going to Flusterstorm back. It's a big tempo win. We don't have enough artifacts and mana to spin this turn, but we did make a 4/4. So pretty solid turn 1 or turn 2. Next turn we have 4 mana and 8 mana. So we almost, if we hit another Moxen per se, we might even have, sorry, we have 9 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9 mana. Oh, they have a Wasteland. Okay, that's pretty good. We still can draw a Moxen and be able to spin, which would be pretty cool. We could also play a second Urza and get the beatdown going. What do I want to do here? I can spin. I could play an Urza. I think I'm just going to play an Urza. Sorry, I need to do this. And then I'm going to tap my Jet for a blue. Play a second Urza. Keep the first Urza, get a construct, and attack for 5. It's a pretty fast clock, 10 power already. See what opponent chooses to do. They could have some decent follow-ups here, like Oko, or maybe a large Tarmogoyf would be reasonable. Let's see, red for blast on my Urza, white. White, blue, green, so probably Oko on a construct. Oh, to fairy. Yeah, Kenza does like to choose and play whatever they like, so that's a pretty strong one. Though the Teferi should die. I don't know if I should play around Pyroblast. I feel like if they had Pyroblast, they would have used it. Okay, so they have Pyroblast and they are going to use it. Okay, that's pretty bad for me. That's like one of the better ways my opponent could choose to fight back in this game. I have to kill this Teferi, I believe. Maybe I don't. Yeah, I mean, this is my one good opportunity to kill the Teferi. I think it's worthwhile. It could come back and bite me, though. We'll have to see. It's not like I had a 2-turn clock, especially with a Deathrite that can block and eat and all of that nonsense. So I think just killing the Teferi is fine. The Teferi was a pretty rough time for me. Them having both an answer to a construct that drew a card, as well as a Pyroblast to kill the Urza. And now they're going to demonic for another answer. Okay, we actually got opponent Merchant Scroll for a Force of Will, and we still got outvalued, which is pretty rough. This is an Oko? Or this is a Dak Fade-In? Jesus Christ. Yeah, just play whatever card you want. Okay. All right, well, we have a nice window here to draw Tinker or... Tinker or Demonic or Key. I'm trying to think about if it's possible that I want to pass the turn, like skip my turn and get a time vault. Yeah, I mean that's the problem with Urza is it gets answered by a 1-mana red card. Though the opponent my opponent's volcanic island, tropical island deck playing a Teferi and bouncing my construct was really not in my vision of things that could happen here. I mean, I don't really think giving them a DAC activation is really worthwhile, so I think I'm just going to try to hit my 1 draw step and hope it works out. Lurrus. That does actual stone cold nothing. Great. This card is so bad. Why do I keep putting it in my deck? God. I just keep getting... just get baited by playing this stupid magic card. All right, well, we probably lose this game. Yeah, opponent's draw was just better, I guess. I don't know. I felt like we were so far ahead, but holy shit, we got actually ranched in this game. All right, they chose not to activate their Dak Fade-In, which is a bold play, seeing as they probably have Mystic Sanctuary for Demonic Tutor available to them. I mean, I'm always happy to be gifted a chance. And I fucking drew it. Oh my god. Yes. Wonderful. Just how I drew it up, really. Why am I playing this stupid magic card? Imagine if I was just playing a Preordain instead. How much better it would be. Whatever. I mean, opponent chose not to activate their Dak Fade-In, not to put Demonic Tutor back on top with Mystic Sanctuary. So, you know, I got a little bit going for me, which is nice. They gave me an extra turn of draws. Nope. Oh, they figured it out now, though. Okay, so we're very dead here. Opponent Demonics for Ancestral, cast Ancestral, activates Dak Fade-In. Imagine it being a 2-2 that doesn't do anything, Crimson. Great choice. Thank you for your insight. Wait, they put the Merchant Scroll? I guess the Merchant Scroll does the same thing as the Demonic Tutor, so I guess it's fine. And it doesn't require them to eat a land with their Deathrite. Fair. That makes more sense. Yeah, a Mentor doesn't have lifelink and 1 extra power, so, you know, really not the greatest. Anyways, so opponents got 4 cards, and they can activate Dak Fade-In, get rid of their worst 2 cards, get 2 good cards, and the game's pretty locked up. To be fair, we had 2 good draws, or not 2 good draws. We had 2 steps to draw something good, and we did not find them, so... I mean... it is what it is. Ranched by another Pyroblast gamer. Draw key and win. I agree. We had 2 good turns to do that. Now it's a little late. Opponent has 6 cards in their hand right now. So I think it's a little late to be drawing key and winning, but, you know, could happen. Could happen. We're going to get negated. There's like 0 chance we don't get negated here, right? All right, I'm going to attack first. Maybe that's worse. No, I think it's a good attack first. Okay. Now they can't hard cast negation. Now they can't hard cast negation. So as long as their counterspell is not Force of Negation, we will win this game. If it's Force of Will, we just replay it with our Lurrus, who is much better than a Monastery Mentor, clearly. If they have nothing, we win the game. So this could have all been solved by them if they had activated their Dak Faden on the first turn and then stole the Time Vault. Days. I will elect to pay for your days. Anything else? No, fuck off! Fuck. Why? Why? Why do we get dazed? Just for fun? Just to get another card for your Dak Faden? This game is so bad. I hate Magic so much. I mean, yeah, they probably dazed to get another land in their... Oh, sorry, I forgot. Mystic Sanctuary for Ancestral, because that's fair. I hate this game. Why am I playing? Why am I playing? Why am I playing right now? This is so terrible. I'm going back to... I'm a modern streamer from now on. No more vintage chat. I can't do it. I can't actually deal with this. I hate Mystic Sanctuary. I hate this deck. I hate it. I hate it so much. No, the days was to bring back Mystic Sanctuary so that they can cast a third Ancestral this game. Because, you know, one Ancestral, just not good enough. The third Ancestral, though, maybe that'll be it. I mean, I'm not supposed to take skip a turn because I'm supposed to try to attack and kill this Dak Faden. Great draw. Great draw. Very good draw. Attack this Dak Faden. Maybe, I mean, if they have interaction with Emery, they would have done it when I cast Emery. So this Emery is really good. I can hit something and bring back with Lurrus. I mean, maybe they probably just have Pyroblast, right? But Brainstorm. Sure. Why are we brainstorming now? All my opponent's choices come at very weird times, and I don't really understand them. I mean, if they don't have a Pyroblast, and this Emery hits a Bobble, return the Bobble with Lurrus, we might be in chance. Oh, welcome, Mart. Welcome. Hope you're having a good weekend. I'm just raging over here. Don't mind me. Just some baby rage. Can I get some IMAC'd angries in chat? Anyone have an IMAC'd angry? Just a little bit. Bad beats in Vintage are not fast. Look at my opponent's deck. It goes so slow. Nothing it does is at any remotely quick speed. I'm gonna give you a hint, chat. Just because I don't call something happening doesn't mean it's not going to happen. All right, this Emery resolved is a big deal for us. This could be a winnable game. What if we beat... All right, well, we milled a bunch of bad cards. See? Just perfect deck building. We milled 4 dead cards. That's just good deck building. Why are people playing this card? Just doesn't do anything. See, if opponent had brainstormed in attackers and played a Hull Breacher and blocked, that would have been a good use of a Hull Breacher. Saves your Dak Faden. But I don't know. Opponent picks some odd turns. Narset. All right, we really are not allowed to draw cards. Yeah, but they brainstormed into it, right? They got a lightning bolt off. This is why Narset is better than Hull Breacher, chat. It found lightning bolt. It's so broken. All right, well, I thought we might win this game. I am now not seeing that as a likely outcome. Do I have to keep playing, chat? Can I concede? Anyone down to let me concede here? Can I concede? We have no outs, right? I guess we still have Tinker. What's the likelihood Tinker resolves? They're gonna gush back Mystic Sanctuary so they can Ancestral a 4th time. Why does this card exist? Why does Mystic Sanctuary exist? Who fucking thought Mystic Sanctuary was a good idea? My opponent is truly playing 5-color blue. This is a sea, a volcanic, a tropical, and they played a turn 2 Teferi. This is illegal. They also have a wasteland in their deck. How does this deck function? How is this a functioning deck? Every deck functions if it draws Ancestral Recall, chat. That's the key. That is the key. All right. Well, they're going to cast 2 more Ancestrals on that turn, so I'm off it. Let's go to the next one. I am so sad about that game. This actually seems like a pretty good Soul Guide Lantern matchup. They have a decent amount of creatures. I kind of want to be able to play balance. Maybe it's still a Remora negation, though. Maybe it's like this, and then trim. Manifold, Time Vault, Bauble, Opal, Caracas. I hate Caracas. Just cut it from my deck. One of the Lurruses. Just trim across the board here. Give us some more options. Take out Vamp. Do that. No, Archon. Like, I actually think Lurrus is just kind of a trap and not very good. But here we are, doing the. I am literally throwing for content. I am actually throwing for content right now. You're welcome, chat. Registering a Lurrus deck is just throwing for content. Yeah, as a companion, it's definitely bad, but at least in the main deck, it has some like Black Lotus draws that are good. No, Lurrus is probably a mom, right? Look at the little baby Lurrus. Look at the little baby Nightmare. Look at him. Can I get some IMAX cats in chat? Anyone have any IMAX cats? Okay, look at that. Our deck is saved, chat. We have found the one good card in our deck. We found it. They have a force. Unlucky. Ooh, close, Jas. Close. Ooh, okay. Hold on. Hold up. Wait a minute. That's some value. No. Our good card is Tinker. Tinker is our only playable Magic card in our entire deck, actually. I think I'm just going to play all of this shit out. Maybe I'll cycle one of these. Interesting. So we do have to draw a land, or this Remora doesn't get to stay. I just drank. What do you? I just drank. Do you miss that? Do you miss that? Oh, damn! That's a big old party. Whoa, whoa! True hero. Where'd you find all your friends? I appreciate that. That's a big raid. Welcome, everyone. We are trying to play Vintage. However, we accidentally put Lurrus in our deck, and it is murdering us. Okay, that's not a bad draw. I don't know. Am I supposed to just like they have a Dreadhorde Arcanist? Am I supposed to be cycling these lanterns like this? Seems really bad, but I need to hit land drops. I didn't find it. All right. Well, next turn I could drop the Remora and maybe play with force backup. Yeah, we're throwing for content. Throwing for content. That's how it is. It do be like that. Okay. So opponent only has 2 unknown cards in hand. We know they have a force. So they have to have drawn Daze or blue card Force of Will. I'm pretty sure I'm just going in on Tinker Life and hoping it works out. Dropping the Remora, going in on Tinker Life. Okay, we're in. Tinker, Emerald, Battle. Force back, pitching Brainstorm. Pitching Preordain. Okay, so they could have drawn... So they have a Brainstorm still, so they could have drawn a second Force of Will. I'm going to pitch this Urza. Okay, we resolved a Citadel. Can we win with... Oh my god, how does this happen? Every time. Without fail. There really aren't that many bricks in my deck. I swear there are not that many bricks in our deck. I mean, we're going to have a lot less life to work with. Citadel hates me. Citadel hates me. They're going to play their 1 Tundra and then cast their 1 Teferi. Tinker was the only good card in our deck. It just betrayed us. What can I say? They still have a Black Lotus. Like, I don't know how we're actually getting out of this. I just can't win. I honestly, I betrayed some kind of RNGesus. I was whitelisted for too long. And it's all just gone downhill since then. I don't actually think Inkwell Leviathan would win here. They're kind of going off. They just found Ancestral? We're so dead. Like, I'm pretty sure Inkwell Leviathan would just not win here. My opponent is literally storming off in their Deathrite Shaman Fair deck. Yes, I could definitely force paying 5 life. However, if I force an Ancestral Recall and my opponent casts a Dak Faden, I am not going to be very happy. I don't think it is correct to force either of the Ancestral Recalls. However, when my opponent goes Dak Faden with Pyroblast backup, I am going to be sad. I agree. I mean, there's just like no point in countering one Ancestral Recall when they're just going to resolve another Ancestral Recall. All right, here it comes, chat. Dak Faden with Pyroblast backup. I had a land underneath it too. I just don't like, what the fuck is this game? I'm running so cold today. It's incredible. It's just it's unbelievable. I mean, they're also playing like random 1-ofs of every color. So like, it's whatever, man. All right, let's see if we can't make a comeback here in the Vintage Challenge. Round 4 versus Zeo. Zeo is typically a Breach or a Bug gamer, one of the two. Let's see what they have. They have a cat. Could be either still. At least I assume they have a cat because we are pausing before hands are being drawn. So my assumption is cat Breach, probably. So not a surprise to see a Lurrus deck down in the 1-2 bracket. Yo, 10k days. 2 months. That's dope. Thank you for supporting the channel. Powerful wizardry. Yep, Lurrus Gamer. All right, so here's our first Lurrus matchup. Ooh, our Lurrus is much better than their Lurrus. We've done it, chat. If this hand isn't good enough, Lurrus will never be good enough. Though we're probably not bringing back Black Lotus. We're more likely to bring back a Bauble. Demonic Tutor. Okay. I'm trying to figure out if I want to pay. What other card could I bring back with Lurrus that I actually care about? And I actually don't think there is one. I guess I can at least bring back the Bauble and hold up in an extra mana, but I don't know what I'm going to do with an extra mana. But I don't know. That might not have been like the best sequencing. I did mill Urza Force Yogwill Probe, which is unfortunate. So maybe I should have bobbled myself before I saw with Emery. And I mean, there's no way I'm like seeing Urza and choosing not to Emery, right? So I don't really know if there's any point in that. I can choose to play this Lantern and just hit my land. I think I'm going to do that. Using my mana efficiently. I think opponent is on Underworld Breach, Lurrus, which is fine. Okay, so I have Demonic Tutor. I have Vampiric for Tinker here if I choose. That is a little dangerous. Actually, I could technically Vampiric just for Citadel. See if Vampiric resolves. That actually sounds way better to me. If I Vampiric for Citadel and I play my Lotus with my Lurrus and my Lotus with my Emery. This can't get flustered. Not bad. I guess we'll just leave this Force on top. I could also mill it by bouncing my Emery and replaying my Emery, but that was pretty good. We definitely high rolled that turn, that hand, didn't we? Though to be fair, our hand was pretty medium if opponent just had Force of Will for Lurrus. All right, so I'm gonna bring in Karn, Soul Guide Lantern, Remoras, and Negations, and then I'm gonna take out Emery, Urza, Vampiric. Maybe I'm not allowed to actually take out Vampiric. Grasp, Island, Bauble. I don't know. Let's try that. It's kind of what I'm into. Let's do that. I mean, if we can't beat Underworld Breach combo with multiple main deck lanterns, what are we doing, right? This is probably one of our better matchups. But I feel like even then, if we didn't have something as powerful as Citadel, would we have been able to win that? Ooh, excuse me. Would we have been able to win that game? Maybe. I guess I could have vamped for an Urza. That doesn't seem that good. I guess I'm always like looping multiple baubles with my Emery and my Lurrus combined every turn, so maybe it's fine. Maybe, I mean, I think you could definitely still win that game, but it seems like a lot of work. This is the second time that I've gotten to do a very cool, powerful Lurrus Emery Lotus start and then Vampiric for Citadel. Though this time it worked out. The last time I just died when I passed the turn, unfortunately. Okay, let's try again. This is another fantastic hand I will elect to keep. We're assuming opponent is on Breach, yeah. You could bring in Seal, but I feel like that is over-indexing. You would rather have cards that, like Soul Guide Lantern, which have multiple uses. We could board in like any number of cards and they would all be pretty good, but you have to choose the ones that are going to be the most powerful. See, like this Lurrus would be great here if opponent didn't oh wow, they're even playing Arcanist in their deck. Yeah. This Arcanist is pretty funny against our 10 main deck Soul Guide Lanterns. Yeah, this matchup seems fantastic. Oh, they're gonna force my Lantern? That's hilarious. Oh, so close. How much colored mana am I off? I'm 1 colored mana off from being able to rebuy Lantern. It's pretty unfortunate. So they will get to at least Ponder. Could I have done something differently here? Don't really think so. Their top card isn't a Soul Guide Lantern of their own. I see. I guess I can just misstep the Ponder. I think I'll just hold this Crypt. Time Vault. I think I would rather misstep the Ponder. No, I would rather misstep the Soul Guide Lantern so that I can play Lurrus and rebuy Soul Guide Lantern. They chose to shuffle on the Ponder too, which is good for the home team. Our draw was a little bit stronger than theirs, and they also chose to force a Soul Guide Lantern because they kind of had to. So we're pretty far ahead. They only have 1 card left in their hand. Even if it's anything, it's really bad for them. Pretty much game. I should have gotten a white source, but I just got lazy. I wonder if I was supposed to play Emery first. I didn't really think that through. Because if I hit a key with my Emery, I want to play the key. But now if they have Lightning Bolt as their last card, they could Lightning Bolt my Lurrus and I get neither. So a bit of a misplay there. But I kind of think it's still worth it. Nah, that's fine. We'll just buy back the Lantern now. And we'll just wait 1 turn if we were to misstep on or miss on our Emery, or to hit on our Emery, I guess is the better way. Yeah. Okay, so they did have a Pyroblast as their last card. Yeah, we are just infinitely far ahead of our opponent in this game. Just like miles and miles ahead of our opponent. Okay, Lurrus looked good in this game, chat. I'll give you that much. Lurrus looked quite good in this match. When you draw Black Lotus and your Lurrus, that's a fucking top deck. Okay. Yeah, all right. That's a top deck. That's pretty good. That's kind of the best card they could have hoped to draw there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. No, there's absolutely zero merit to drawing with Lantern because you need to hold up Lantern for exactly what just happened. Because you 100% need to be able to Lantern a Preordain or an Ancestral. You can't allow your opponent to be flashing back this. Like, even though they're going to run their Arcanist into a Lurrus, it's just still not acceptable. So look at this. They swords my Lurrus here, and I needed to be able to I might lose this game. I have to top deck here. Like, obviously they're on top decks as well, but I mean, they're just forcing it. I feel like they could have left one Preordain behind, but they were trying to find a removal spell for Lurrus, because if they don't play a removal on Lurrus and they're attacking with 1/3 into a 3/2. All right, we're in a complete top deck war where opponent has a Lurrus and we don't. I might actually choose to skip a turn. I don't think I'm supposed to skip a turn. Nah. Key, Tinker, Time, Demonic, Urza, Emery, Lurrus. Basically, any of our hits are good. Anything that is not a mana source, basically, or a counter spell. Even a counter spell is not the worst, but we have the ability to play most of our cards in our deck. That's okay, but if opponent draws like a Preordain here, this is a really bad draw, right? Because opponent is going to Preordain twice. Okay, I put the Lurrus in their hand. Makes sense. Citadel. We are one black source short of a Citadel, so we would need to find a fetch land or a jet. Or an Opal or a Lotus. Not the worst. So now our lands are good draws, which is pretty good. We have a hard cast force on this Lurrus here, as long as they don't have a Pyroblast as one of their other cards drawn. Yeah, I mean, I think it was still supposed to be a Tundra, but the fact that we drew Citadel makes it a little bit better that it wasn't. I agree. I guess I should have voted differently so that I could act like I had two forces, but whatever. Tinker. Well, I guess we're just going to go for the win then. I think we're just going to go for key if this resolves. Kind of not many things besides a braid. Oh, they have a braid. Jesus. Okay. Well, we still have a live Citadel draw because we went for key. Okay, they have a wear tear. All right, that didn't work. The game continues. They hit a fetch land, but I guess they can put the wear tear back on top if they needed to. So if we brick on our Citadel, it's pretty bad as well. I think we can just go cast the Citadel now, right? If we just tap this and then play this. So this, if we brick here, we do get wear teared, which is worth noting. I think it's still better to hold this crypt. I don't really see a huge use for it. Play this. Play this. Play this. Play this. Top. Exile this. Play this. Play this. You want to draw through that. Urza. Sure, Urza's fine. Cat. I already have a time walk turn, right? So now I have Vault Key. So, cat. This. Have we ever bricked on a Citadel? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I don't really know, to be honest with you. They keep changing the rules on those kind of things. I would assume that it can't, but I don't really know. Maybe someone who plays Breach can tell you in chat. I assume they cannot. Pretty sure the CMC is 3. Yeah. Split cards are a little different. All right, so actually our Tinker for Key actually ended up being really good because it enabled us to have an extra black source. All right, we lost 10 minutes on our clock finishing that Hammer Time match, but we're here for round, I don't remember. Is this round 5, chat? Probably round 5 of the Vintage Challenge. We're playing against Revenant, who is a Doomsday player. Revenant does put out a bunch of content for Doomsday, so if you're interested in Doomsday, check them out. They're in the Vintage Discord. They do comparisons on different Doomsday lists throughout the published data, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Trying to figure out if there's more things that I wanted to say. So they are just like a Dooms one. They basically only play Doomsday, but they've gotten pretty good at it. So let's see what we can do here. We are 2-2 in the challenge. Okay, so they had the turn 1 Ancestral with Days backup for my Mental Misstep. They will have a lot of stuff, but they will be behind on mana for a second. However, we could also get countered here, I guess, and then we would have not much going on for us. Yeah, we kind of ran pretty cold in this challenge, so it's to be expected. Can we beat Doomsday? No, I wouldn't say it's a good matchup. Definitely one of not our strongest matchups, but it is what it is. Looks like Urza's going to resolve, though. Oh, wait. 2 cycles for a Force of Will? Oh, never mind. All right. Well, in typical Doomsday fashion, I was not allowed to play Magic. Yeah, every time I play against Doomsday, this is kind of what happens, and it makes me think, hey, why the hell am I not playing Doomsday? You know? Like, what am I doing where I think that my deck is better than what my opponent's doing? It clearly isn't, right? Well, we have a backdoor. To be fair, you could just say we lost to Ancestral Recall, but opponent also had Days for. I don't know. like what is why am I playing basically when I look at what our opponent is doing compared to us? It's just a joke, right? The power level difference is so insane. My opponent is going to spend less time playing this match of Magic than I did making them wait. The actual match of Magic is going to take less time than me finishing that Hammer Time match. Sorry, I'm just like pretty sad. Sad, Justin. It's clear though that if you do want to do powerful things, Doomsday is a good choice. So basically their pile only really needs to be Ancestral, Lotus, Thassa, 2 cards that don't matter, and if they have a cantrip in their hand, they win the game on the spot. Sorry. Gush. Okay, they did not have a cantrip in their hand, that's why they went for the Ancestral pile. If they had a cantrip in their hand, they would put Gush as their first card and then go for the combo using Gush. All right, so we have a chance to win the game here. If we draw exactly Manifold Key. I hate this game so much. Okay, all right. Game 2. It's a close match. Both teams fought hard. We got some cards to bring in though. Got some Remoras, some negations, a Karn. Not bad, not bad. Just gonna take out this Caracas, take out these Lanterns, take out this Myers Grasp and an Emery. Looks good. Submit. Yeah, Doomsday has pretty much been iterated to its probably close to max potential. You have some room in how you do sideboarding, and you have some room in your like 3 flex slots, but for the most part, Doomsday shouldn't really change. I mean, I think that's just a normal Doomsday hand. I don't know. I've never seen a Doomsday hand that doesn't win with counterspell backup on turn 2. I mean, Portent has some play to it. It also plays around Narset and a bunch of other things like that. So there's some reasoning to Portent. I'm not a huge Portent fan, but it is what it is. Hmm. Yo, what's up? Hello. GG's. You did not let me play very much Magic in that game. Yeah, well, leagues are different than challenges. I had an opportunity there. If I could have drawn one more land, get a hammer in, put you to 1, but it was not to be. It was not to be. All right. I mean, this hand has powerful Magic cards. I don't know. Just, I feel like keeping this hand against Doomsday is an act of desperation, but sure, whatever you say. Ley line of the. Oh, I guess I can use my bobble on myself here, which is pretty good. I didn't play around Mindbreak Trap by doing this, but I did let myself navigate my own draw step here. So you get to look at my top card. My top card is a Force of Negation, so I'm definitely going to draw that, which is a good reason to use this whole don't crack the fetch land tactic. Very nice. Very nice. All right, we have a chance. We've got a clock. We've got counter magic. This deck looks better, or at least this game looks better than last game. Mostly because opponent didn't resolve an Ancestral Recall on the turn 1. All right, Preordain maybe? Dark Ritual. Doomsday? Oh no, they've got Doomsday with Duress backup. So I can counter this Dark Ritual. I probably should. Because if I let this Dark Ritual resolve, they can go Duress or Thoughtseize me and then cast Doomsday. Whereas this one, they would need to have another Dark Ritual on a different turn. I think we're going to counter this. I wasn't sure if I was going to let the Doomsday resolve, but if they're going to play a second Dark Ritual, then I might as well counter it. Unfortunately, I couldn't tap and hardcast. Oh, they have a Demonic Tutor follow-up. It's pretty good, so they can go get a third Dark Ritual and go Dark Ritual Doomsday on the next turn. Okay. That's not good for the... Oh, wait. No, they're just going to go Lotus Doomsday on this turn. Okay, fair. Fair. Yeah. Okay. This looks bad. Though I don't think my opponent can win the game on this turn unless they have 2 Street Wraiths or a Probe and a Street Wraith in their hand. So we should at least get a draw step. I don't know if that's going to be good enough, but yo, the Titho. Powerful wizardry, appreciate it. I mean, there are cats. They're in my deck. They're just terrible. Like drawing a cat this game would have been awful. It doesn't do anything. But yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really feel like this is a very winnable game. If we draw Ancestral into Time Walk, it might be our best chance. Academy. Does that let me spin? I can spin. Is spinning worth it? It just feels like what is the word where you are you try but it doesn't matter. What am I looking for? Is spinning for Force of Will better than other options, I guess is the question. A futile endeavor? Maybe a futile endeavor. We could spin and hit a Karn. So we have 1 negation and 4 Force of Wills and a fluster. So we have 6 hits. If we spin though, we still have to not attack for 2. Like the best hits on our turn are Karn, Tinker, Citadel, Ancestral, Time Walk. So it's kind of the same number, right? It's kind of the same number. I guess we'll spin for counter magic. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This kind of seems unplayable, but what are we gonna do, I guess? I mean, opponent like had a dead card in their opening hand, and it still just doesn't even matter. It's like completely irrelevant. They kept a 6-card hand because this leyline has done nothing. So this is Ancestral. Oh, so this is Probe. Okay. If they put Ancestral on the stack right now, I also can hit Ancestral for lethal. So this is my spin time. No, it's just a normal Doomsday hand. Every Doomsday hand is like this. All right, chat, spin the wheel. I'm looking for Force of Will, Force of Negation, Mental Misstep, Ancestral Recall. Island. All right, we died. I don't know. Like, what's the point? I just don't know what the point. It just feels like playing like these kind of decks versus Doomsday is not worth. Oh well. Whoops. Okay, so round 6 vintage challenge. We've got an unkeepable hand, mostly because there's a cat. Mulligan, much better. Keep. Drop the Soul Guide Lantern. We've got turn 2 Urza. We've got Flusterstorm, Forces. This is a much better hand. If you don't have a Black Lotus, Lurrus is pretty much unplayable, I think. Just continuing to be true. No, opponent is on Lurrus. It's been revealed. They're playing Breach. Sure. Not a bad turn one. Not a bad turn one. Interesting draw. Okay, we'll just play a fetch land, pass the turn. I don't think I would fight over this probe. It's pretty low value. This mental misstep kind of has to counter a pyroblast. No, canister. Unless you mean playing it by not ever casting it, which is the correct way. It's pretty much impossible to cast when you play it as a companion. It's pretty much, you basically just lose a sideboard card for no reason, and then you can't play Mentor and Narset and Dak in your deck. Pretty much useless. They have 3 mana this turn. Maybe they'll go get a Lurrus. Think about how good that will be. It's a lot like Hull Breacher 2.0. People have high expectations, think it's going to break the format, and then it just turns out to be super medium. Look, they can get Lurrus here. Look how good that is. Unbeatable. Imagine they cast Tinker here. How much better would casting Tinker be than getting Lurrus from your sideboard? Oh, no, we can't play Tinker in our deck because we have a cat in our sideboard. Real smart. Yeah, just play Tinker without the best card in Bolus's Citadel. Bold play. Bold play. Demonic Tutor resolves. Pretty good one. Gets an Ancestral Recall. Even if I counter Ancestral Recall, they just flash it back with Dreadhorde Arcanist. It's a powerful Magic the Gathering card. Maybe they'll DT for a Lotus to get the Lurrus from their hand. Powerful play. So here's a problem, chat. Even if I go for Urza on this turn, actually, that's not really a problem. I guess they're always going to flashback, no matter what. And we do get the Flusterstorm off of the Urza token, so maybe it's fine. Still only a 2/2, but we can actually block, which is also nice. So swords? They DT for swords? Yeah, I mean, maybe they DT'd for Ancestral and also had swords. I mean, it's still a good use of my... Still a pretty good use of my mental misstep. Even if they flash it back here, it's not terrible. I think we're going to lose this game by a lot. Our deck is just not very good. I mean, though we didn't draw Demonic, so that doesn't really help. Flusterstorm being a conditional counter here, not ideal. Yeah, so they have double Ancestral now. Bro, how do I ever beat an Ancestral Recall? It's so impossible. So impossible. It's okay, Slasher. In like 2 weeks, those piles are all going to go away when everyone else realizes that Lurrus decks are not good. We have negations in the sideboard. Ooh, half a year. What's up, Mo? Counting down the days, I assume. Till you live it up in a cushy biotech job. Making $1 million more. Lowering your commute. Wait, why'd they cast this bobble? What is opponent doing? Are they just baiting me? Like, what? Like, I don't get it. I guess I can't block now because I have to use this, but at least I get to do something next turn, whereas before I was just not doing anything. I think I mean, like, I could spin into Soul Guide Lantern here. Wait, why'd they target themselves? They just reveal that their last card was Brain Freeze? Am I just getting styled on? What is happening? Okay, so they're gonna try to mill over an Underworld Breach so that they can buy back their Lurrus. If I just hit a Soul Guide Lantern, we win the game on the spot. I mean, if I don't, we lose. So that's not good, but... Tinker is pretty good as well. I'm just going to play fetch and spin here. Oh, Dreadhorde is fantastic, as is tutoring for Ancestral Recall with Dreadhorde in play. Spin, I hit another Urza. Interesting. So this looks really bad for me. They have Ancestral, was basically their flashback card is Ancestral. I mean, they still can't cast their cat. It's like impossible to cast, chat. It won't be until next turn. You know? Like, when you have cat as a companion, it's just impossible to cast. So here they're going to flashback Ancestral Recall, and that should be good enough to win the game by itself. Block resolved. That's always nice. Oh, they hit Lotus. Okay, so now it's game. So now they have like 1 million mana. They can get cat, and Underworld Breach, and the game is over. Yeah, they're definitely gonna win with Lotus because they ancestraled into. They're definitely gonna win with cat because they ancestraled into Lotus. Though they might even just have another Underworld Breach in their hand and can win that way. Okay, they're just gonna win with cat because they have exactly enough mana now that they ancestraled into Lotus. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, Underworld Breach. Good game. But isn't that mostly on the back of Dreadhorde Arcanist Ancestral? Like, the Lurrus just kind of existed. They would have won that game even without it. I mean, I don't think they played optimally, right? Didn't really seem like that was the case. One, two, Vampiric. Urza. Oh, Bobble. But I mean, if you have a turn 1 Arcanist and you tutor for Ancestral Recall, I feel like you're going to win most of the games of Magic that you play, right? No, I'm playing 3 main deck Soul Guide Lanterns, which are a much better card against Breach than Tormod's Crypt. We just want to board in some extra counter magic, as well as this Karn, which can like really turn off opponent's deck. This also cantrips, which is really important. All right. This hand's kind of garbage. I feel like we can do so much better. I'll mulligan this. Yeah, this is much better. Maybe I like playing too many Mox Opals in this deck. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but they always seem to be problematic. I have a lot of artifacts in my deck. I'm not going to be able to resolve my Ancestral Recall. Fantastic. Incredible. I have Mental Misstep, Ancestral Recall, and it's not close to being enough. Just one of those days, I think. I got him. You're right. It's for that really strong card, Lurrus. I mean, I do think that my Myers Grasp is currently better than my opponent's Swords to Plowshares. So there's that. But the problem is the rest of my hand is lands where the rest of their hand is draw spells. So, but I did mulligan and they're on the draw. So they're always going to have 2 more cards than me, which makes it pretty unwinnable if my Ancestral Recall doesn't resolve. I don't know. It's just not been a very fun day for Justin here. But I kind of knew that when I signed up with this deck for the tournament. So we'll play something more fun for the next challenge, I think. Got him. They shuffle? They didn't shuffle? Okay. Perfect. Now they cast Night's Whisper. They go up to 6 cards. 5 cards, I guess, because you just cost a card. Yeah, this is that's about it. Brutal. Top on the Preordain as well. Ruby Nihil Spellbomb. Yeah, I mean their deck is a much better deck than ours, right? It has a bunch of cantrips in it. We play a bunch of artifacts instead, so that we can have explosive draws, and we just did not keep in a hand that was an explosive draw unless the Ancestral resolved. And we had Misstep to back up our Ancestral, but they just had Misstep Force, so it didn't work out. But this is like the kind of thing that you can run into with these Mox Opal style decks is you have to have exact right combination of cards or it doesn't really do anything. So we did hit a Mishra's Bauble that we can bring back with this Emery, but this Nihil Spellbomb is going to prevent that, or the Swords to Plowshares is going to prevent that. I could have waited and held open Caracas on the Swords for my Emery, but I'm not 100% sure I really like that line. I want to be able to, basically the reason is because I want to be able to use my mana efficiently if I were to draw an Urza, but I guess we've probably unlikely to draw an Urza or a cat. Maybe it was just a bad line and I should have just been waiting. Probably was. Dreadhorde Arcanist. Aha! Got him. But they did hold this Nihil Spellbomb, so I'm going to lose my grasp. Unless they use it now. No, not worried at all. They're not worried that we would... They're not worried that we would draw, you know, a Delve spell or something like that. That's pretty disrespectful, but... Okay. You got me. They already know about the Caracas, so might as well play it out. Crack the spell bomb, draw a card. Yeah. It do be like that. Now they can get back their Lurrus, replay the Dreadhorde, because I haven't drawn any of my lanterns or anything like that. Not that Lantern would be good enough here. It's not like Spell Bomb where it cantrips. I do think in general, Lantern is usually better than Spell Bomb, because hitting the one card for free is pretty powerful. But Spell Bomb, when you're grinding like this, is definitely a stronger card. All right, yeah, get the Lurrus back in your hand. Are you going to play the Lurrus? No, because there's a Caracas. Wouldn't do you very much good, now would it? All right, if we can draw a Spell Bomb this turn, what is it called? A Lantern this turn, that'd be nice. But, of course, yeah, it's just one of those days, I think. They also have Mystic Sanctuary now as well. I mean, it's pretty clear that our deck is just bad, but that was something we knew going into the day, so... I mean, I could have conceded like 3 turns ago, probably. Ooh, a dig through time. Nice. Yeah, whatever. I don't really want to play anymore. So, but I do want to power through the last round so that I can do data analysis. So, round 7 Vintage Challenge. We used 10 minutes to get killed by a mono blue player in that Vintage League. So, now we're here doing the thing with the stuff. Seems like a keep to me. Oh, I sure hope that by the time 3 a.m. rolls around, we've kind of shook off this this whole day of Magic. I think the whole day has been kind of a wash. Kind of a wash. Our opponent has Mold of 4. I don't know if that means they're dredge or unlucky. It's okay, Cliffy. I registered a challenge deck that I knew was bad just so I could get more Lurrus content, which was a mistake. I should have just registered something else and just said screw it to everybody. So I mean, I knew what I was getting into, and then we, like, on top of that, ran fairly cold. I think that's pretty reasonable to say. Sapphire. I don't think I want to draw a Sapphire. I don't really see how Hermit Druid is going to help. No. Oh, I didn't even play these rubies out. It's just, oh boy, I need to play these out. All right, let's see if Multifor means dredge or it means bad shop's hand. What does it mean? Not dredge. So Multifor Tinker on turn 1. PO for 3. London Mulligan was a mistake. I mean, it makes sense if they're playing PO that they're down here in the 2-4 bracket with us. So that vibes. I think I would rather have a card than a mana. They're drawing a Sapphire, so as long as they didn't draw a PO, might be okay. If they didn't draw like a PO or a Tinker here, might be fine. Last card. Oh, we're safe. We are safe. God bless. Never mind. PO on my turn. Now, PO on my turn wouldn't make any sense. Demonic. That should be lethal, right? There's no way Demonic isn't lethal here. I guess they could have Force of Will as their last card. So if I Demonic Tutor here and I get Black Lotus and I cast Citadel, is that the best line? Or is the best line to like get a Force of Will and just go for the beatdowns? I think Lotus Citadel is the best line. It usually is. There's no Force of Negation in the main deck. Okay, that's good. That's exactly what we were looking for. We've got a beatdown plan. We've got a Force. All right, we probably win this game. I do think we got lucky that they missed on their Ancestral or their Night's Whisper, but we're gonna get there now. Okay, cast you, play you. Yeah, I elect to cast that spell as well. All right, that one that probably wins the game. Cast. Cast. I don't know. It's demonic. Ah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, this is lethal. Just going to kill my opponent. Oh, I didn't actually want to pay for this. I'll just say no. Here's F6. Attack. All right. No. I have lethal on board and they have no cards in hand. I don't need to cast any more spells. I can just do the thing. Okay, so PO, Karn. We're past the point of letting people know today. There's no letting people know anymore. We're on kill the opponent and only kill the opponent. Like Seal maybe. And then we'll take out Soul Guide Lanterns and Myers Grasp and 2 Urza, 2 Emery, 1 Lurrus, and we're more of a controlling combo deck now. Cool. I like this. Let's do this. Submit. Not a bad hand. Keep. Yep. Resolves. Top. Resolves. Spin. Okay, chat. Where are we going to go from here? We've got a lot of choices. I think the first thing to do is just check out what's in their hand. It's very relevant because there's an Archon of Emeria deck. That is a huge problem. This is a really good draw. This is actually a really, really good Lurrus hand. Not a really good Lurrus hand, but it's a good Lurrus hand. Underground Sea, blue, black, Lurrus, replay pedal, cast Emery, using pedal, pass. I mean, dead weighting a Dreadhorde Arcanist is still fine, because they can't cast any spells, but you do get the grasp back, which is nice. So now we have a Seal of Cleansing in our yard and a Lotus Petal that we can rebuy. Opponent has drawn Mox Opal. They're going to go for a Night's Whisper, which we can't touch because they have a Pyroblast. So be it. If they Pyroblast my Emery, I will let the Pyroblast resolve. Doesn't look like that's the plan from them. If we could... So we can actually cast Seal of Cleansing. That seems like the biggest plan. Just hit this Soul Ring. Try to just play a controlling cat game here. I mean, cat looks pretty good on this draw, but basically you have to have a Lotus of some kind to make it viable, I think. But it's looking pretty good in this game, to be fair. Drawing with top means you have a Ruby, sure. Okay. Are you gonna Pyroblast the Emery? I think I would let Pyroblast on Emery go. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, let's just do... what I might do is I might cast Seal of Cleansing on the Ruby. And then deploy a Remora. If they Pyroblast this, that's fine. We'll just target this. Have this die. Petal. Remora. Now I have a fish and a cat and a force. So we're in great shape here. They want to turn this Opal on. They have to play a top and let us draw a card. I might even force this top. It pretty much keeps them from doing anything. I think I'm going to force this top. If they fight over it, we get a card. And then on our next turn, we rebuy Seal of Cleansing the Soul Ring. Okay, so they're going to Merchant Scroll for an Ancestral. Still get a card off this. Drew a Negation. Interesting. If they do have land, cast Ancestral, which I don't think they do based on how they use their top, we'll be able to... We actually should be able to hard cast. We're not going to be able to hard cast this unless we bring back... I don't... Oh, okay. Now we're good. All right. We drew all the cards we needed. You love to see it. I mean, we're definitely going off against PO here. Poor PO player. You can do a lot of different things with your Lurrus main deck, but I actually just don't think you're going to see very many Lurrus main deck shells because I don't think it's very good. All right. That was a quick one. Not bad. All right. So let's just do a quick recap of what happened during this stream. 3-4. Urza. So we played this deck today. It was pretty bad, though. It had some glimmers of hope. Obviously, the Tinker package was pretty strong, but we, had a bad RNG problem with one of our Tinkers where we flipped over a Force and then died. GG super. Overall, Lurrus is pretty reasonable if you can get him down early with a Lotus or a Lotus Petal, but when you don't have that, it's pretty slow. Even if you do resolve one, it's not like it's game breaking or game ending like something like maybe a Mentor would be. So I'm not even sure its inclusion over Mentor here was even correct. Like the engine, like using the graveyard and rebuying things with Lurrus is good, but is it any better than Dreadhorde Arcanist? Bringing back Ancestral? Like, I just don't feel like that's the case, right? I feel like this card is like doing a Dreadhorde Arcanist impression, but a way, way worse Dreadhorde Arcanist impression. So my final verdict as of now, without seeing any results from this tournament, is that Lurrus is perfectly safe in vintage. It's even probably not that good. I do think it's playable. It's definitely a card you can choose to build around and do some fun and interesting things, but it's how good it's going to be is kind of dependent on how good your artifact package and your rebuys are. So moving forward, I don't, unless there is a really strong Lurrus deck that I missed that people want to see me play, I don't think we'll be playing too much Lurrus moving forward. We'll just keep trying out fun, different brews on Wednesdays as we move towards a vintage showcase the first weekend of March, where I don't know, probably play PO or Doomsday or something like that. Yeah,